So this is just going to be like my 35, 36, I guess 35 week update, because I have not had my 36 week yet. I'll be 36 weeks exactly tomorrow. I just got back from the doctor, and they did the Group B strip test thing. I don't know what it is. Um, and I'll get my results next week, next Friday when I go. And they checked to see how dilated I was, and if they made sure that the baby was head down. And baby is head down, and I'm only half a centimeter dilated at 36 weeks. So I don't know how dilated you're supposed to be, but it doesn't seem like a lot to me, because I've seen like posts online on like all the mom blog pages about how like they were like 2 or 3 centimeters dilated at this point. So I definitely hope that I do not go over. Um, so for this week, let's see, Wednesday, I had like horrible cramping for about an hour, and I was like in tears, and I really thought she was coming. Like I'm first time, so I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling and what's right and what's normal and what's not. So I was just like, I threw up too. Like on top of that, I was throwing up, and I went to go lay down, and like I was just literally in tears. And my fiance was at work; he wasn't here, so and he has the only car. So if I did have her, I would have had to have him come all the way from work, and he works like 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away. So I'm glad I didn't go into labor. But if that's like a little taste of what labor is gonna be like, and probably not even half of how bad I'm gonna feel, like I'm very scared. Um, so that is pretty much like the only big thing that has happened this week. There hasn't really been any other symptoms or anything. Just increased Braxton Hicks. That's pretty much it. Pressure. Still got the pressure down there. Still have to pee a million times a day. I think I'm a little bit more moodier. Like I can definitely feel it, because when I first got pregnant, I did not see any mood changes or hormonal issues. Um, my fiance claimed to have seen them and thought that I was like probably really hormonal, but I didn't see them. But now I can start to see them. Like I'm just like a lot more grumpy for no reason sometimes, and like I don't know, I overthink things, and I'm still forgetting a lot. Like I don't know if that's part of the pregnancy or if that's just me, but um and I don't know if this is just because I got my own apartment now, or if it's like the nesting instinct or whatever, but I have just been like cleaning like crazy, and everything like that's out of place bothers me. And when I clean and like the next day it's dirty, like I just get so frustrated. Like um so I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's just like being an adult now, or like the nesting instinct. Um so don't know. I still feel like I'm gonna have her a little bit earlier. Like I said, I really don't want to go over 40 weeks, because I am in so much pain and I just cannot take this anymore. Um, so I kind of hope I do have her at like 37 weeks or something, like when she's full term. But we shall see. I feel like she definitely is ready to come out. And every time I talk to her and I'm like, "You ready to come out? You want to come meet mommy and daddy?" She just kicks like crazy. That's another thing. Like that was really weird. Like I didn't know if it was normal or not. It was Wednesday, the day that I was throwing up and having cramping. Like she just kicked me like constantly all day. She probably slept about 30 minutes of the day, and like the rest of the day she was so active and moving, unless I was up and walking around and didn't really pay attention to it. But other than that, like she just like every time I would sit down, she would just kick me like so crazy, and then I would think that she was sleeping, and I would like pat my stomach or talk to her, and she would just give me like a strong kick. Like so overly active baby, and like I said, she didn't really sleep at all, it felt like. So I don't know what that was all about. And then the next day she was kind of the same way, but she was like a little less active. Um, and now it's back to normal, like where she was active like she was before. She's sleeping right now, so peaceful, quiet, and no kicking right now. Um, but yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's it. I can't really think of anything else. that has been going on. Besides, oh yeah, dizziness and fainting too. That was another thing. Like all over the place. I didn't really like plan this video. I just kind of did it out of the blue, so I'm sorry. But I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video or not. But I just like out of nowhere for like the past week, I would just get super dizzy, and I felt like this at the beginning of the pregnancy too. When I had like really bad morning sickness and stuff, I would just, I did faint like a couple times. I fainted twice. So I'll just feel like that feeling again, like I feel like I'm gonna pass out, and I'll feel really dizzy, and my hands will be shaking like uncontrollably, and I'll just have to sit down and drink some water, and even that doesn't help sometimes. Like I'll still feel it, and like it just freaks me out. I'm not sure like if that's good or not. I don't know. Like I mean, I'm anemic, so I'm sure that has like somewhat to do with it. Like all the blood flow to the head, to your brain, and whatever, and the oxygen, because she takes most of it. That's what they say. So sometimes it just doesn't have enough time to catch up with you, and you have to lay on your left side, and sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes it does. So I guess I should bring it up with my OB, but my the OBs that I see are not really all that helpful. I mean, some of them are, but like usually the ones that I get, they're just trying to get you in and get out so they can get more people in and get more people out to get more people in. So make their money. But yeah, so I haven't really asked them or told them about it, and if I did, I'm sure they would just say it's normal, blah 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 blah. So but yeah, so now I am officially every week I have a checkup now instead of every 2 weeks. I am down to every week, which makes it very scary because I'm getting close. I'm getting so close, and the closer that I get, the more scared that I get. I'm so excited. Like I wanted to rush this along, and honestly, this pregnancy has just like flown by, completely flown by. At first, like the first I would say the first 18 to 20 weeks went pretty slow because I didn't know what she was, and I was just so anxious to find out what she was. And of course, when you're waiting for something that you want, it takes forever. So so yeah, when we found out what she was, it kind of started going like a little bit faster because we were occupied with like getting her clothes and getting all this girly stuff, and you know working and trying to get the apartment and everything. So like with all that stuff and like the holidays, it kind of just flew by. Plus I had a couple of times that I was in the hospital, so I don't know, that made it go by faster for some reason too. Probably because they had me like all drugged up in there, and I just kind of slept through it. So trying to think of everything, but I just don't know. Like I said, I just did this video out of nowhere, so but yeah, so it has pretty much just like began to flow by, and now the closer that I get to having her, I'm like so scared of pushing her out, like the pain that I'm gonna feel. Like I'm feeling Braxton Hicks like crazy right now, like just out of nowhere, like but yeah, so like if this is just like practice contractions, I don't, what are the real contractions gonna feel like? I don't know. So I'm scared of that. I'm scared of, like I said, pushing her out of me. Like that's gonna be painful, and I wanted to do an all natural birth. I did not want to get an epidural. I might get like, if I'm in labor for a really long time, I might get like pain meds to help me sleep or something. Because I know they can give you like certain pain meds, and then which is different from the epidural, but I do not want the epidural at all. I heard bad side effects about it, and I really don't want her to be like drugged up when she comes, not drugged up, but like I know she's gonna sleep, but I don't want her to be like extra tired when she comes out. I heard that the epidural can go to the baby too and make them feel tired when they come out. So I don't want that. I want her to be up and alert and ready to meet us and ready to enjoy this wonderful world. So yeah, like I said, don't want epidural, I just want natural. So I'm scared of that. I'm scared of something going wrong with her, like if she is born early, because I can go into labor any day now, and I don't want for Luis to be at work and me to be here at the apartment by myself. I don't have a phone. We don't have two phones. We have one cell phone, and we don't have internet here. So his brother gave me his iPad, which has internet on it, so that I can message people, and I'll message them to call Luis to come pick me up, and like message my family and tell them, and then probably call them when Luis gets here with the phone. So that's another scary thing. I just hope that he's here when I'm like, oh, it's time, so he can just be there with me and help me get through it, be supportive and everything. So yeah, and then I'm scared, like, if she is early, something will go wrong at the hospital with her and she'll have to stay for a couple weeks or a couple days or anything, or something will go wrong with me. Because like I did have that kidney infection that was really bad, and I was in the hospital for 4 days, I think. I don't remember. But I was in there for a while, and so I don't want anything to go wrong with that, or I don't know, or like I'm terrified of them just coming out and being like, oh, we have to do a C-section, and I'm like, why, and they won't tell me or something. Like, I'm just paranoid, having all these new mom, first mom thoughts, and I don't know. Probably it'll be perfect. Like, I'll probably be in so much pain, and we'll get to the hospital right on time, and have a perfect baby girl, and everything will be good. And I'm just freaking myself out with all these thoughts, but we'll see. So I think that's all that I have to say. I think that's all I have to talk about. So yeah, if